Hello, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Jump It Live. It is Saturday, the 10th of September. And how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? It's been a while, but we're here and we are live. So, the world is in mourning the loss of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I just wanted to touch on the topic for a few minutes. I know that there are many passionate opinions and views on this topic. So I wanted to ask the question, guys. Do you think that we should be in mourning? Or do you think that the monarchy represents oppression and all the negative things that people have been saying? Well, I don't know if you have seen the different comment sections, whether it's the Gleaner or the Observer or the American newspapers or the British press. There are varying views as to how the world is supposed to take the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Mind you, I think most people respect her, certainly for her longevity and her service, and the fact that she hasn't had the exemplary family. She has really had to dig them out of a lot of mess many times. And I mean, she has always been dignified. She has managed to keep herself dignified over the years. So that much we can give her credit for. But many people are saying that she could have done more. She could have done more uh, as it relates to black people or minorities. So, what are your opinions on the Queen's life and service? I don't think, in terms of her personal opinions on certain subjects, clearly she's not allowed to give her opinions on certain topics. So, she probably wouldn't come out and say, "Oh, I think that the Commonwealth country should change and have their independent head of states or whatever." Um, she's bound by her, or she was bound by her office or her duties to uphold certain traditions and customs. But there are a lot of people who are criticizing the whole establishment of the monarchy because even something like slavery uh, was done under the authority of kings and queens of the past. And so, I mean, is it right to judge somebody using their father's sin? Isn't there a Bible scripture that talks about um, judging the children based on the crimes of their parents? Or uh, are we going to like condemn the white people then? Are we going to condemn white people because of things that their forefathers did? I mean, personally, for me, I would want to know that somebody condemned me because of something that my parents or grandparents might have done years ago. I wouldn't think that that would be fair. Yes. So, we have to ask the question. We have to ask the question: should we be mourning this Her Majesty, or do you think that we need to just break from the shackles of the monarchy and what the monarchy stands for? Because to be honest with you, the monarchy stands for inequality. Because basically what you're saying is that some people are born with royal blood. So that in and of itself is saying that people are not born equal. So we could ask the question if we need a monarchy in 2022, you know? I mean, I like the pomp and the pageantry and, the nice colors and, it looks nice. The traditional, the trumpets and the red, whatever. But isn't the whole idea of a monarchy like saying that people are not equal? Like you have royal blood, so your blood is better than mine. That's all men are born. Well, all men are supposed to be born equal, but royalty means that all men are not born equal. So that's a question that we have to ask. Is the monarchy relevant in 2022? Should we be having kings and queens in 2022? You know, but in an event, I mean, we have to say rest in peace to the woman because she did her time, she served, um, and she managed to keep herself out of scandals and stuff. Even though there were people who criticized her for how she treated um, Princess Diana and even recently Meghan Markle, the whole mess with Harry and whatever. So it's something that we have to talk about. We have to question it. You know, no people say it's Babylon system she represents. Uh, we need to get reparations and compensation for slavery and things like that. I don't know if I am that radical, to be honest. I don't know if I am because after a while you just have to move on. Like, how long are you going to be asking for money for slavery? Like, eventually you'll have to move on. Eventually you'll have to say, whatever was done in the past was done. And, but there are people who are thinking that the royalty, the crown is still living off the wealth that they gained from colonization. And, they need to give back something. I mean, the queen have billions if or millions, if not billions of dollars. When you convert that into Jamaican money, it's billions. So, I mean, but which country would have to get this money and who is going to get it? Like, we could say, for example, England decide that they're going to give money back to Jamaica for slavery. Who exactly is going to get the money? How is the money going to be managed? Yes. Um, what is the money going to do? Is it politicians who are going to manage the money and rob it up and thief it? Are you going to put money in education, in the education system? Are you going to build hospitals? And then if you build a hospital and you don't have no doctor to go in there, or no nurses who are trained, then it doesn't really make no sense. Or if they're all going abroad, then it doesn't really make any sense really. So there's a lot of questions that we have to ask as far as the royalty and our association with the British crown is concerned. I think the consensus is that we need to move away from the monarchy into a republic. Because to be honest, what does the governor general do? What is the job of the governor general in Jamaica? Does anybody know? Like, he appoints prime ministers and custos or whatever, but does he have a real job? Like, when him going to the office in the morning, and wake up a morning time and go to the office. Like, what is his job? What does he do? You know? Because I think we understand that a lot of it is just paperwork and um, ceremonial things. So, but we don't know where the governor general go. And how much he's paid for doing his job. But so I think that most Jamaicans will probably say that, okay, we need to move away from the the queen or the king or whatever, the monarchy, the British crown. But then what's gonna change for us? You know? Right now we think most Jamaicans probably would have want to get back the British pound. A lot of Jamaicans would love to get back the British pound. And enough of them would want to get the British visa and stuff like that. So there and then you have to ask, the question as to who is benefiting from all of this, you know. So I was reading a lot of the comment section. Who was in the comment section? I was even on Trent Essence's live Twitter live last night, and the man started beat up every single body as far as hey James, greetings to you, James Guy, blessings, my brother. And they were saying that the queen, it's just symbolizing oppression. The monarchy symbolizes oppression. It symbolizes inequality. It symbolizes colonization. It symbolizes, I mean, clearly we can't tell the people them say they must have no king or queen. If they think that they need to have a king or a queen in 2022, then it's for them, it's British custom, British tradition. Not people like to see the palace then. Some countries kill their kings, like France. But there's a certain element of it that's, I'm not gonna say nice, but that's interesting. Or, that I like to see. The horses and the old car, them, and, there are certain elements that I like to see from the whole monarch. I remember when I went to England and I visited like Buckingham Palace. Amazing, wonderful building. The whole Westminster community. It was just amazing. Buckingham Palace, St. James, one of them places looked really nice and stuff. But what's the relevance of a monarchy in 2022? You know? Do we need a monarchy in 2022? Because what we're saying is that these people are not equal to us. Or should we be able to vote for the king just like we vote for a president? I don't know. So it's a question. It's a question. Me personally, I'm not going to accuse Queen Elizabeth of oppressing nobody. Because as far as I'm concerned, the woman, you can't really blame somebody in today for something that happened yesterday. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to say blame the queen for things that happened in that slavery days. Me not think that they're fair, none at all. But you could question the relevance of having her as representing our country as the head of state, and there's a budget there, there's a lot of money there. As I said, who pays the governor general? Is it? I don't even know who pays the governor general. If it's like Jamaicans who pay the governor general, or if the governor general, being the representative of the Queen in Jamaica, if the governor general is actually paid by the British people. I don't know. That's something I need to. That's something I need to research. Is the governor general of Jamaica paid by the British government? Because I mean, they're the representatives of the British government in Jamaica, and he's representing the Queen, or no, he's representing the King, and he's doing ceremonial stuff, but in the name of the British government. So is the Governor General paid by the the the, the British, or is it Jamaican taxpayers who actually pay the Governor General? I would really love to know that answer. And it's similar for like Canada, Australia, all these countries that are independent who still have the British head of state as our head of state. Who pays these people? You know, somebody keep calling me and I don't know. Or is I think maybe it's my neighbor. Maybe the call is going to my neighbor. Oh, there's a new feature on the channel. Oh, interesting. Right, sorry about that. So, so the question I'm asking: should black people or members of the Commonwealth be mourning the Queen? Uh, of course, if somebody dies, guys, the minimum you could do is to wish rest in peace. You know, I would never ever support something like being happy for somebody who dies. I remember when Margaret Thatcher died, and there were a lot of British people who were in the street. Some of them were drinking liquor and dancing and celebrating Ding Dong, the witch is dead and stuff. And I thought that that was so horrible, you know. I don't think that it's good to rejoice when somebody dies. Unless so the person gonna heaven or lived a good life and so them gonna heaven and rejoice, you know, that person but you know what I mean. I don't think you should be happy when somebody dies. But I don't know. Because I guess if somebody in pain or somebody's in a lot of pain and stuff and they die, maybe you are relieved or stuff. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean when I'm saying that, you know, to be happy when somebody died. Like me or some people say a long time she could dead, then she oppressed people and things like that. So me, I am a bit disturbed by comments like those, you know. But the question I'm asking is, should we be mourning her like Jamaica? And then the Jamaican government is a bit bipolar. The Jamaican government is a bit bipolar because they came out last year and said that they wanted to go to become a republic. They wanted Jamaica to be a republic. And at the same time, they were saying that, oh, we wanted it to happen in time for Jamaica 60. And it didn't happen for Jamaica 60, right? And then they came out and said, oh, Kamina Johnson Smith, who is the Jamaican foreign minister, she was running to become the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And people were like, and then we hear that, they spent millions of dollars on that campaign. And I'm thinking, okay, fine. If Jamaica is Secretary General, if Jamaica win the General Secretary of the Commonwealth, maybe it's a good thing for visibility or for, I don't know, bragging rights or stuff. But if you come out and say you're going to become a republic, why would you be spending a lot of money to become Secretary General of an institution that you want to leave? Although it seems like you can remove the Queen from being head of state and still remain in the Commonwealth. Because I didn't even realize that, that only 15 countries of the 52 members of the Commonwealth, only 15 countries had the Queen as head of state, and Jamaica was one of the 15. Jamaica is one of the 15 to still have the British crown as the head of state. So that in and of itself uh, tells you that the other 41, they don't have the queen or the king as their head of state, but they're still in the Commonwealth. So why would you spend so much money to try to be the Secretary of the Commonwealth unless you thought that it was going to bring in some investment or some prestige or some influence, global influence? That's the only thing that could justify that. But in any event, uh, she was still the head of state. So now we see the Prime Minister declaring 12 days of national mourning in Jamaica. And people are cussed over it and say, no, how we are going to become a republic and we're still mourning. But the fact is that she is, or she was still our head of state. She was still head of state of Jamaica. They've not changed her yet. So there and then, they have to mourn her. And the question I'm asking, should we be mourning her? You know, did she do enough for us, members of the Commonwealth, to be mourning her? Or do you think that all these things are just old fashioned, old tradition, and we should just move on and, very interesting. The difference in opinion that people have regarding the monarchy and the queen. And it's a whole heap of people from all over the world. They were in London. They're in London, gathering in London. Some people just got to be fast, but a lot of them are genuinely there mourning, the passing of the queen. A lot of them have tears in their eyes. Some of them have come from Africa. Some of them from all different walks of life. They're all there, Muslim, Jews, Christian, and otherwise. They're all in London, gathering in front of the palace, bringing flowers, and mourning the Queen. And there are others who are saying it's foolishness. Why we're mourning something that represents oppression? Because historically, and it is true that historically, the British Crown did participate in slavery. I mean, they used to refer to some of the places as crown lands. Okay, and we knew that they used to say that the sun never shines, the sun never sets on the British Empire. Talking about the vast extent of how Britain had colonized so many countries across the world. So there and then, um, you know, even Mexico left a comment and said, "Why are we celebrating this evil woman?" I mean, she's the head of the Church of England. She's recognized. She's like the equivalent, or she was like the equivalent to the Pope, the Catholic Pope. So whoever is king or queen, they are the equivalent to the Pope for the Church of England, which is like Protestantism. You understand? So some people are saying that, she's evil. Why are we celebrating her? Only for Jamaicans were cussing, it is not. But we are celebrating a national mourning and things like that. But my personal opinion is that irrespective of what we think or thought of the crown or the political institution that is the monarchy or the British monarchy or history or whatever might have happened in the past, I think it's fair to say that Queen Elizabeth was a dignified woman, you know. I mean, we grew up with her. The whole world grew up with her, and like it's like she was queen of the entire world, even for countries that you know, she wasn't um, head of state for our countries when they will speak English. Because whole heap of French. If you go on all of the French television stations now, everybody is only talking about one thing, Queen Elizabeth. Nothing else not happening in the world. Ukraine not happen. Gas price not gone up no more. Everybody's just talking about one topic, and that is um, Queen Elizabeth, even in France. So, I mean, me think that, well, irrespective of the past, me can't go accuse a woman of having slaves because there and then we all know slavery ended before she even born. So me can't accuse her of, you know, oppressing people. Me not say we should oppress. A lot of we black people we oppress one another more than anybody else. A lot of us oppress one another. If you look even at, and I understand things like sabotage, I understand, say, many of these ex-colonies are still suffering from, the effects of colonization. But other countries went through things and they don't deal with them one another the way we do. But Israel went through the Holocaust, and um, the Jews, I mean, went through the Holocaust and stuff, and many really see Jewish people that kill off them one another or kill off them one another the way we black people do. Many people say it's the um, inheritance, the slavery inheritance. When you look at the violence, um, for some reason, the most violent countries are countries that had slavery. If you go check it out, and I mean most countries had slavery, but we don't know the type of slavery we have. Sugar slavery. Most countries that had sugar slavery, those countries are today the most violent countries, and the whole of them in Latin America, the Caribbean, and Africa. All them countries that would have some slave, they suffered at the hands of slavery, at colonization, but for slavery, for sugar. Most of those countries, whether it's Honduras, whether it's Jamaica, whether it's Trinidad, the whole of them countries are very violent today. So I don't know if it's because of slavery why we just so violent, and we I mean, if you look at even the crime rate in Jamaica, me can't go say people are oppressed Jamaicans why, or the Queen are oppressed Jamaicans why so much Jamaican that kill off them one another. Like that to me is not an argument, but is it that because of slavery or the whole impact of slavery is still playing a part? I don't know, maybe it could be spiritual. Some people think it might be spiritual demons will hold on the whole population, generational curse we call it. Is that it? Because clearly something must be there why we could be so violent against each other. When I say white people not violent against one another, sometimes they have mass shooting and whatever, but I'm just saying that most ex-colonized countries, especially since Columbus, are very violent today. If you look at the top 10 countries, top 10 countries where you have homicide, it's like Honduras, it's like Jamaica, Nigeria, El Salvador, Nicaragua, the whole of them countries, Ecuador, the whole of them countries are as violent as Jamaica, Colombia, the whole of South America, the whole of Latin America, and even the US, because US is still quite, I mean, okay, they have 300 million, so I guess you don't hear a lot about like killing and stuff, but all of those countries in the New World, the only country will probably come out with no dignity is like the Dutch ones, like Curacao and them place there. You don't really hear nobody kill up them one another over there. Or um, maybe Martinique and Guadeloupe and them places. Even though you do have violence there, but it's not as um, potent as like, although look at Haiti. Haiti is a disaster today. Um, Trinidad. Trinidad is very violent. Barbados, probably, we could have said Barbados is like probably the exception in the Caribbean. If you go Barbados, you probably would think that you can come out alive, because not as violent in Barbados. But like Trinidad, would you go to Trinidad and walk around at night time and Port of Spain and so? Probably not. Would you do that in which other country? Honduras and them places? No. So all of those countries where Columbus same fine, the whole of them violent today. All of them. So is that because of slavery and colonization? So maybe that's what people mean when they say the queen still are oppressed in that. But I don't see what they could do or what she could have done to make people stop killing one another. I don't see what, I mean, if we get reparations, which is like money that is supposed to be compensation for slavery. If them give compensation for slavery, number one, we're going to kill off one another because then it's going to be a problem who gets it, who are spending, who supposed to get it, who not, like me, they are friends, yeah, a struggle. Would I be entitled to any of that reparation money if it dropped? Not gonna get none. Everything I got town and everything I got Tivoli and Rima and them communities. Because even in Jamaica, country, the everything is so concentrated in like the corporate area. And I'm very passionate about something like this. Everything is concentrated in the corporate area. Even something like independence. Everything keep a Kingston. And like some things might go be if them lucky. But all them Grand Gala, isn't it like, okay, Jamaica is what, 60-year-old and the Grand Gala only keep packing. So all the people in my country who pay taxes, they never get to benefit from anything. Like there's no bus system in country, but JUTC is in town. And JUTC, you consider how much money they pay for fare on JUTC. I was in US, at US studying. And like the fares for the buses, it was something like $20. When in a country we pay like $100. They were paying like $20 in Kingston. So like all the money, all the money that like the rest of the country earns, like all Manchester we used to earn so much money from backside, it wasn't put back in to develop Manchester. It was put in to develop Kingston and St. Andrew. And maybe Spanish Town a little bit we're lucky. And like St. Anne because St. Anne have the nice beach them and so then we get like a development and then once you go be able to take our city but like St. Elizabeth and Clarendon and Manchester and Trelawney, even Trelawney, even though Trelawney are North Coast, they don't get no proper development. They get development along the coastal areas. But everything is usually just in Kingston for Kingstonians. And then Mandeville or Maypen or them little town, they would have get like little handout or little car meal or so in the election time and them stuff. But like there's no proper development being done for the countryside. So all of the money go down. So if we even get reparation, me not think country are gonna get nothing much. It's all gonna go to Kingston. You understand? So there and then that is potentially a problem as well. But we need to really look into why former colonies are so violent towards one another, or why we bad mind with one another, or why we don't really empower one another. I'm not saying that some people don't. Majority probably do, but you always have that black dog in the whole mix, you know, where when you reach home, you realize it's not a monkey, it's a black dog. There's always something that occurs to, show up the insufficiencies of the stuff. Sweet escapes in the building. Greetings, how are you? It's been a while, it's been a while, it's been a while. That is so true, but Makamasa, how we hard. I was moving, was changing apartments and all sorts of stuff. But Sweet Escape saying condolences to the greatest queen. And I mean, she was a great woman, bad to bad. Because for one woman who have so much, um, who had so much, for one woman, I'm gonna put your, I only give my narrator again. I remember how to do them something. So Sweet Escape, I put her channel. That's good. You're a content creator. That's excellent. The money soon start run. Although a lot of YouTube not really creating content, a lot of people sort of fall off the burner, but you have to keep on keeping on. Money can make on YouTube. Money can be made on YouTube, but you have to be consistent. You have to find the time. You have to make the time. You have to just put out videos. I mean, I don't necessarily do it, but because I have a day job. But maybe if I didn't, I would have to, put out a lot more. She was a real Wonder Woman. Well, what I was saying is, for one woman who had so many children who are, what do you call them now? When you call them picnic, we could just say bad breed. For one woman who has had so many bad breed kids, she actually remained dignified over the years. Because I don't think we ever really hear or heard her name being um, involved in any big scandals or anything. But um, like Andrew go mess up. Andrew go mess up with Weinstein or Einstein or whatever they call it, pedophilia. Andrew go get involved, whether he did it or not. He go get involved. He go get him name dirty that stuff. Then now Charles, today Charles start behaving himself, guys. Prince Charles only started behaving himself today because Charles mistreat and ill-treat poor Princess Diana for years. I've battered bruised the woman, yes, and you know, is probably over the last 10 years Charles actually became, decent. But he was a horrible man. So for one queen to have had so many picking were just bad, she actually was dignified over the years. So Escape is saying, I'm not mourning her because of her title, but for a woman with such responsibilities, I give her credit. The strength and responsibilities she held and devoted at a young age I mean, if it was Queen, anyone, it takes guts to hold. That is true. And the woman lived long enough because, oh my God, from Winston Churchill. Can you imagine? This woman was queen when Sir Winston Churchill was prime minister. And look at what prime minister. We grew up under Tony Blair and Gordon Brown and David Cameron and Boris Johnson and Theresa May and enough prime minister we know in America time, John Major, Margaret Thatcher, a whole heap of prime minister, and she outlived them all and remained dignified. You never hear her meddling in the affairs of the country. No man, she has to be more. But do we need a monarchy in 2022? Because the symbol of monarchy is saying that we're not equal. Because you are born with royal blood. Your blood is purer than my blood. So do we need to have monarchies in 2022? People are bow down to people. You understand me? Like in Japan, they bow to everybody because I guess it's just a culture. But like Mrs. Anne, Anne Chanel, yeah, I think it might have been Anne. Poor Anne. I think Anne is the daughter of the queen. And not so young, and not so young. And they said, and I tried curtsy to the some king them say from some country or another after start. I mean, I said, look at the woman like she soon turn over. Like, there's not something that I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that in 2022. I don't know. Say, as a rich woman she was, but her title stopped her from living a normal being life. That there is the best example of roaches. I wrote you up to say, oh, richness. Riches don't make you happy because I was reading roaches don't make you happy. No monarchy, no madness. No man, yeah, also correct. No, I don't know if I'm comfortable with monarchy in these days. Because it basically I say we're not equal. It's saying your blood is purer than mine because you have royal blood, and I am a commoner. You know, I know they made different changes than them say like some people can become queen now, and but we don't know if me could have married in a royal or maybe my blood is too common. I don't know. Could I, although Megan wasn't a royal, so I guess it's possible to marry and get royal into the royal family if they do accept you. Because there's one, and some people disgusting, People are evil and just mix up. Like today, I was on Facebook and somebody, I think it was BBC, who put out a picture that Meghan and Harry and Kate and William were walking, and somebody put, "Oh, William and Kate were such a beautiful couple and they look so nice and whatever." No, good God. Who could have sit down there today and look on Meghan Markle and Harry and look how Meghan look good and say Kate look nice and William look nice and don't say Harry and Meghan look nice. Come on, guys. Come on. Look how, I mean, Kate is a beautiful woman. Kate is a beautiful woman. But Kate can't walk in a Meghan shoes, no dear, in terms of beauty. Look how Meghan look good. Come on, guys, talk to me. Look how Megan look nice and clean and proper. And you are gonna come on Facebook and talk about Kate and William look good and Megan and Harry don't look good. Come on, the Facebook should have blocked you. They should have taken away your account for that. Escapes, bless up yourself. No man, a wickedness. Like, okay, fine, you might not like a woman, but you can't say the woman don't look good. That is evil. There is nobody who could look at Meghan Markle and say the woman don't look good. Unless you have a problem or a serious problem with black people or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like sometimes some people can be beautiful, but because of their personality, you might find them less attractive or so. But nobody there looking at those pictures or in footage today could say that Megan did not look nice. You're wicked. You're evil. So um, she deserves her plaudits. She deserves to be mourned. I mean, she's the only queen we ever knew. And as a matter of fact, she had the last one we are going to know because a pierced man string up the eyes. It's pure man because after Charles, it's going to be William. After William, it's going to be George. And who knows if George um, will have a son or not. But we're never going to see another queen, like hereditary queen for the rest of our time. Unless one of them get wiped out by some accident or COVID or something, and then one woman take over. But as far as the natural and normal order goes, it's going to be king, 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 king. And poor Charles. Charles is how old? How old is Prince Charles? Oh, he's not Prince anymore. How old is King Charles the Third? How old is King Charles? Let me check. I call the man Prince whole night. He's king, isn't he? King Charles the Third age. Charles at 73. Good God. What Charles are going to do now at age 73, guys? That's why I mean, I don't know if we fully believe in this monarchy thing. What is Charles going to do? The poor man lives in life wishing the mother died so that he could get his little day of glory. That is harsh. I don't know if I would like to be in such a situation. Like, you know, you want to be king of the United Kingdom. Because I mean, it must be something you dream of being king, especially if you're here to the throne. You want to be king, but you know that to be king, your mother will have to die. So, are you gonna be totally sad when you wanna die, or you're gonna just glad to your turn king? I don't know. Those are the type of things that make me very uncomfortable with the idea of monarchy and the fact that we're not equal. You know, but people who are talking about oppression, I don't know if I agree with them because the Queen never oppressed me no way, what shape or form. The Queen never, if anything oppressed me, well, the people that were work for the Queen oppressed me, especially like them British immigration officers. They can be nasty, those drunkards. The worst country to enter, guys, of all the countries I've been to, and trust me, I've been to a few. The worst immigration people you will ever find are in England, especially if you're traveling from Jamaica and going to England. They treat everybody like criminals. When you get to London airport, there's a line that is specific for Jamaicans. They're like, and The thing is, I didn't even realize what was happening, because sometimes when something happens, and because you're so shocked, behave appropriately or with the same, behave effectively. So when I got to the London airport, landed from Jamaica, the woman was like, "Where are you traveling from?" And I was like, "Oh, traveling in from Jamaica." And they said to me, say, "Okay, well, if you're traveling from Jamaica, you need to go into that line." And I said, "What make me need to go into that line?" But I'm not even realizing that, um, I'm not realizing that it's a specific line for Jamaicans. Me don't think the woman, those people who come up to the line and to make the line go faster, they're like, "Where are you traveling from?" So I know thought that it was a question of they were sending like European people one side and non-European the other side. Me don't know to the woman and literally tell me say when you land in London, there's a specific line for Jamaica and they're gonna interrogate you and question you and make sure that like, that is it. Really legit is here. Greetings. Really legit says you're looking at it wrong. If black people is oppressed, you are also oppressed because freedom isn't about one person. But what do you call oppressed? That is what I'm asking. Because I think I recognize that former countries that were enslaved, like today, them violent. Like countries like Jamaica and El Salvador and countries like those countries tend to be the most violent. So if I'm looking at it from that perspective, Island Sister TV, Mexican, greetings to you. If Mystic Sensation in the house as well, greetings to you, Mystic. So if I'm looking at it from the perspective of the fact that there is something about Jamaica why we are so violent. Not everybody is violent, not how we grew up in a church and so. But like Jamaica as a country, maybe, like there is a high murder rate, etc. And like other Caribbean countries and other Latin American countries, they have a high murder rate. So if I'm interpreting it like, okay, an African country too, they have a high murder rate. So maybe I could interpret it to say that all these countries that were enslaved or colonized with um, by the British then, or colonized for sugar, those countries to me are very violent. So in that way, I could probably say, okay, maybe that is some heritage we get from the British or the British. But I don't know how I could say that the Queen is oppressing Jamaicans or black people. That's what, well, I don't know exactly what happened with Meghan, but um, Island Sisters saying, greetings, Jean Fred, and hi to everyone in the chat. Mystic also here saying blessings. Hello to everyone in the chat. Blessings, sweet. Yeah, I don't know how the Queen was oppressing me. I'm just saying that a lot of black people fight with one another, we kill one another, we bandman with one another, we don't empower one another. There's an issue if we go to like like you will see like even in different countries like Paris. You have like the Chinese community and you have like Chinese restaurants beside each other and everybody get on perfectly. They just get on with it. Or you have the Indian community where all of the Indian shops and Indian restaurants they touch each other. But I don't know if Jamaicans could do that, or even black people would have like their business touching each other and living. And maybe the Africans down near to where I used to live, and they all have like a hairdressing parlor, and sometimes them a fight. Sometimes it comes to literal blows to get the clients, or sometimes when you go bus park and you have the two people them, I don't know what they call them, they could just call them conductor. The people them will tell people to come, Spanish Town, Kingston, come. Like them always a catch up and fight and stuff, and I'm thinking that I don't know if that is a thing from slavery or the past, why we saw. That's what I mean. Like, why we deal with each other like that. Like, if you look at most African countries, coup d'etat, political violence, they kill the leader and stuff. At least Jamaica don't reach that level. But like most African countries that have had like a coup d'etat. So if if that is a, a heritage that we got from slavery, I could understand that oppression argument. But in terms of being actively oppressed by the crown, I'm not sure how. Legit says, bro, Jamaica fight for Britain in World War II, so why Jamaica need a visa to go to Britain? Yeah, but legit, you know why Jamaicans need a visa to go to Britain? Because of our behavior. Because of Jamaican behavior, in the sense that we we got the people that country, we fight, we sell drugs, we stab up, we kill up, and we put up the people in jail. And most of us run off and stuff. So that's why we need a visa. I don't think that it's because they want to say, okay, we're going to pick specifically on Jamaicans and not give them visa. Just like Nigerians need visa more. I mean, Barbados, they don't need a visa. Why Bajans don't need a visa to go there? And even then, remember, Jamaicans need a visa to go to Britain starting from, and it was very late, huh? It was something like 2004 or 2005. Because up to 2005, Jamaicans did not need a visa to go to Britain. Because the first time I come to France, which was 2002, I went to Britain and I didn't need a visa. But after that, we need a visa. It's with bad attitude. So sometimes we have to take responsibility for our actions. And I don't know if eventually we're going to be emancipated from using slavery or these things as an excuse. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe me thug white man may think like they become living in their country too long. I don't know. Alan sister says greetings to Mystic. Uh, Mystic, are you at work? Mr. I miss your live this morning again. Not going good, huh? Legit says the Chinese never go through what black people went through, bro. And 400 years of slavery and then colonialism. Okay, that's fair enough. Um, that's fair enough. So, I guess also you could say that slavery extended to even Latin America, because I was making the point earlier that even those Latin American countries like El Salvador, Honduras, etc., they are as violent as Jamaica. So maybe I see your point legit in the sense that maybe that's what caused or is causing violence, or maybe the nature. I don't know, but maybe that's an explanation. But how much longer are we going to use that as an excuse to get our acts together? You know, Iron sister who was cussing the Queen earlier says, John Fett, the Queen is and was the head of the monarchy and the Commonwealth. You were just talking about how ruthless British immigration is. Is that not a form of oppression? Okay, but Island sister, I put it to you that yes, that is a form of oppression, but isn't it something that we bring on ourselves? Because not all black countries are face oppression when they come to Britain. Like Barbados, Bajans are treated like queens and kings when they got England. I put it to you that Jamaica is because of the attitude why most countries will need a visa. That is just what, and is that I'm talking down my country. But I know say I love Jamaica and Jamaica and Jamaican culture. But is it not that we behave bad sometimes. We fight and galang bad and you know. First time we reach a Europe, me and one man, be a bad road and I said, oh my God, who that now? Who traveled to Jamaica? Because we can't just keep things in a humble farm, we have to explore. Because maybe the Indians and the Chinese are exploited. Like Chinese people are exploited a lot. Look at their minimum wage in China. Look at look at the what you call them something the BPOs and stuff, the factories that they're working at. They're exploited, but they don't react the same way we do. So, you know, thank you, legit. I don't know where John Fritz is coming from today. Island sister, you know, something morning. I am mourning. I'm mourning the head of state. I'm mourning your head of state, the Jamaican head of state. So Jamaica wasn't bad when they needed them in World War II. Okay, that's a good point. And not just World War II, but after World War II, a lot of Jamaicans migrated to England because they needed Jamaican workers to sort of rebuild the country. And it's the same for like France. Like today, the French people are complaining that there's a lot of like Muslims here. But the reason they have a lot of Muslims is because after the war, France did mash up and they had to go and get these workers to come in and work. And they got them from Tunisia and Algeria and Morocco, which are Muslim countries. So now them are fight too much Muslim than are France, but they did need them at the time. So um, I see your point, legit. Can't argue with that. Leonie says, I have loved the Queen all my life. Greetings to you, Leonie. Oh, mourn her death. Oh, sweet Lady Queen, Mom, Granny, Auntie, everything. May her soul rest in peace. You see, Leonie, I big up our Queen, though. Mystic says, I'm off today. John Fett just got home. No problem. The time difference is a huge factor. I know. But I saw the live, I went in on it, gave my thumbs up. It said 100 minutes to go. I don't know what happened after that. John Fett, Jamaicans are minority in Britain compared to other nations and races. I could also say the crimes Jamaicans commit in Britain is minute compared to other nations. All right, that is what Mix John is saying. She's the British in the house, so I'm not going to argue with that. But not all Jamaicans. I mean, okay, Mexican. If you come from France, you would see that black people in England will not live in a paradise. Because like when I used to live in London, I lived in London for like a year. So when I lived there, um, you would see black people everywhere. You would see them on TV, you would see them in the banks, you would see them at the health centers, you would see them there with the doctors, lawyers. The black people was everywhere in England. So I didn't get the sense that, I was less than anybody else. Even though, okay, there's a lot of Jamaicans in London. Like when we reached London, I think I was in Kingston. I was like, oh my God, look how we left Jamaica and things and they come up fine. And I pay a pat on me here all over. You understand? But black people are able to climb the social ladder in London. Like you look in the parliament, you see black people in the parliament, you have journalists who are black. Like it's possible. In France, you would never see that. I must say, I think in the entire parliament is about one country. It's about one individual who is black in the entire French parliament. On TV, you ain't got no journalists on the main station. You have one black journalist once, and then just disappear. You don't find black people in, like, even in my school, I never know how me reach so high. And probably because me just know. Probably because I am enough why they sort of push me up. But even in my school, which is an international school, and yes, now I have quite a few positions at the school and stuff, but I was the only black teacher for years. 2 weeks ago, they hired this guy from Bahamas. But for years, I was the only black, because that's just how it is in France. Whereas in England, you all have a lot of black people achieving and rising and being able to, you know, climb the ladder. Barbados is referred to as Little England, says Leonie. And I mean, they also said that Barbados didn't go through the same severe slavery that the other islands went through. So maybe that also could be an explanation for that. Alex in the house. Alex, Island boy, Alex. What one, Alex? I don't even know if you're monetized. You must monetize by now. How things, Alex? How is the YouTube money treating you? Lady says, John Fed, me a go a thrift store to buy two black outfits. Yeah, man, we have to mourn the woman live long and all these things. Island says, certainly not my head of state. The queen and her jing bangs are thieves and oppression. So why you saying she's a thief now, Island sister? And are you judging her for things that occurred before she born? And is that is that a fair way of what am I saying now? Let's talk foolishness. Should we judge people based on what happened in the past? Because me don't know if it's like you're generalizing now. Cause like suppose you say, all right, my last tenant was black and did never pay the rent, so me now go rent to no more black people. Do you think that's fair? Or and why are you saying that she was a thief? Talk to me now. Me know say our grandpapa them used to thief, yes, but why would you say the queen? Talk to me, island sister. There, Alex, there. I ain't no damn British. I only currently hold their passport. I'm born and bred Jamaican. I'm a born Jamaican. I'm a son of the soil. I love the sea. I always go. Oh my God, island sister gonna send out herself. I'll get British passport and I come tell me that she ain't British. But that's your life is, guys. If you don't have your blue passport, you're Jamaican. You remember the old big washing machine passport we used to have? Once you touch down, everybody knows you're Jamaican. Was that like the ugliest passport in the world? So legitimately say, listen, what the Queen said when CARICOM asked for reparations from the monarch, she said slavery was legal, so she not pay no reparations and she not apologize. So there we go. So my question legit was, if we get reparations, who should get the reparations? Who should the money go to? In what form should the money be paid? Are you going to give it to politicians? Is it going to be concentrated in Kingston? Or is it going to spread out all over the island? Am I going to get none like me in France? Or is it going to only go back to Jamaica? Me want to know how the reparations thing will work. Because I'm not sure, like you give somebody money and then just use everything and it's still not the way for them. I think that reparation money would probably be the same thing. So, not saying that we should have got like some assistance back then when the slaves were going into slavery, then left them, and I know we probably never know if we run with them. But so I'm not against reparations. I'm just interested to know how people want it to be done, how people would like for it to be done. You know. Notes a new channel says Island Boy Alex. New channel, why? Other channels have me away. Ah. Barbados was seen as the pearl of the Caribbean by England back in slavery days. That's what really legit is saying. Bro, the Queen said slavery was legal and should not apologize for slavery and should not pay reparations. I don't know of her saying that unless it was reported, or do we have like um, a video of her saying that? We don't really like. I mean, I think the Queen was stupid enough to say something like that. So we would really like to know if she did really say that, or if it's just people say she said. You know, that is what I would like to know. Leonie is saying she never stole a damn thing from me. Her great grandfather used to loot like a rat, but this lady never took a thing from out of my house. I mean, she did make certain positive moves, like even the fact that she made women able to inherit the crown in the same way that men can. And I think she gave back some of the wealth to the state, the heir. So I don't know. She did some good things. I don't know her because we just know what the media shows really. But she seems to have remained dignified over the years. You understand? Um, I don't know if money is the answer to our problems in Jamaica because IMF give me money and we still have problems. World Bank give me money and we still have problems. We get aid from how much people, how much country, US give me money, China give me money, and we still have problems. So I'm not sure that getting this reparation money is going to solve anything whatsoever. You understand? So that's why I want to know how people see it. Javed the Queen is a recipient of blood money. That is her wealth. And still today she fails to distribute the wealth. To this day they claim in Great Britain as their own when it belongs to all of us. That's what Island Sister is saying. The Queen have blood money in her hands. Blood money upon the Queen hand. Well, I don't know if the will read yet, but I shall be listening for um, my name. I'll be listening for my name to see if no money drop, you know? Because, she must leave one will, or is the will just automatic? Because today we hear Charles that turn over money. I say I'm going to give up money to get money from whatever. I don't know. He was going to exchange money for stipend or something. But until the will is read, me now cross my mind outside. So, what Mystic says. Reparation for First Nation people in Canada is individual payments to each individual. At 18 years of age, a lump sum is paid, and the band chief gets an amount each month for his people. So hold on the mistake. Are you saying that Canada get reparation money? So why me just know this? Are the wrong country me come live? Are the wrong country we come live? But I don't know. People always say, oh, we can invest in education. But how? And, because if we're making the same mistakes over and over, then nothing is going to be achieved. If we have the same tribalism mentality towards the politics and with government and with governance and stuff, we ain't going to achieve nothing. And in Jamaica, if you're PNP, anything Labour Party do is bad. If you're Labour Party, anything PNP do is bad. That is slavery. That is oppression. That is oppression because if PNP build one road, or when the road clean, Labour Party are going to say something wrong with the road. And vice versa. You understand? So if we get the reparation money, and what I do? But I lick down the wall and building them down at home. And I flatten Kingston and rebuild it all over because I don't think that those zinc and concrete and walls that the ghetto, nothing conducive to proper, dignified living. When I flat downtown, Tivoli, Rima, everything, when I just bulldoze everything, I would flatten those communities and rebuild them. That is what I would use my reparation money. And like the same thing for Spanish Town. Same thing for Spanish Town and those communities. Just flatten them, rebuild them with greens and parks and you know decent housing. Because to be honest, guys, I think where you live it does a lot for you. Even for me, like I was living in a small apartment um, up to recently, and it's like now that I've moved into a mansion. No, now that I've moved into a bigger apartment, which is more spacious and so, even in the mornings, no, me I wake up early every morning. I'm early for work. I feel rested. I have a nice big bed when I feel, your environment does a lot for you. It does a lot for you. And trust me, I feel so much, and I've only lived here for 10 days. Today, the one, the 10th of the month. I've only lived here since the start of the end of last month. And I feel better. You understand? So your environment does a lot for you. And I think that, if we get this reparation money that the Queen will, we should just clean up Kingston City, start at Kingston and just spread out. All them ugly building, them ghetto building and stuff, get rid of them. But that's interesting for the Canadians. I think also what I would do, I'd probably put the money in like some account and I'll teach people, like every citizen would have to come with like a plan, like a business plan. So for example, Mystic would have come now and say, okay, I have a plan to open an online school, and then would have give her reparation money to help her to open her online school. Or somebody say, okay, then I'm gonna go in a chicken feed business. Although the chicken business, me not really for it, because there was a money, all there was a people beg money to start sell chicken and buy chicken, and eventually then nab the chicken and the business doesn't really work or thrive. But like I would say that to get the reparation money, people would have to have like a plan, a business idea where it can use the money to, enhance and develop and put into action something that is going to be long term. And then I would give them the money. But if it's something like when the man can eat the money, like if they say if you raise pig and goat and then something like, no. Like a proper business, like an online school or um, I don't know, like a computer, a telephone repair shop, or I don't know, some proper project. Yes, you could get them. But if it's just give people money to go buy hairstyle and liquor, it's not going to take us anywhere. It's going to be the same mistake over and over. Legit is saying money and free education of the university. That's what reparations should be like. Okay. Money, as I said, I don't know about the money part. Free education, I don't know if education should be free. I hate when we get like a GoFundMe and somebody else say, okay, they want GoFundMe to help somebody go to school and stuff. I don't know. I think that the principle of university education is that if you have to take a student loan, you go, you work hard, you pay off your loan, and you get into adulthood. Because ain't nothing free. Somebody somewhere has to pay. I know that in France, university is very cheap. Like it's $400 a year for university in France. So guys, if you're looking at if you want to do studies, you can consider France. Or if you know young people who, need to study, they can consider France. It's $400 per year to study in France. So it's nothing. But because of that, people like me who work hard, I have to pay a lot of taxes. Um, France has a lot of good things like healthcare. It's like, oh, I have diabetes, I don't pay anything for healthcare. All my medicine is free because it's considered like a long-term sickness. So every time I go to the doctor for that, all my metformin, all my medicine is free. Sometimes they put you in a hospital for like 2 days. They have a nurse taking care of you, watching everything you eat, give you a diet plan, take you to exercise class, all of that. You have cancer, it's free. You get free treatment for cancer. AIDS, if you have HIV/AIDS in France, you pay for nothing. Or if you want to get tested for AIDS and stuff, you pay for nothing. So that is not bad. But because of that, the salaries are very low and the taxes are very high. So uh, it's like in the US now, you don't get the health care and so, but you can make a lot of money. So I don't know which one is better, to be honest. I don't know. Mystic is saying, okay, so taxes exempted for First Nation people. Education is free, even university, so we could get reparation. All right, so I see where Mystic is arguing for it to be in the form, something similar to what the Canadians are getting. I don't know, we have to go calculate and see how much in our 3 million are we? 3 million Jamaica in Jamaica and about 10 million outside of Jamaica. So the money should be given to each individual, not the leaders and the citizens. That is problem. That is problem again because everybody got have 10 each finger gonna be a fingerprint to get money. So there and then, some people are gonna get it 10 times and some people are getting none. It's really, I don't know, I think it would be a big headache. Dignified, when she retains stolen wealth and us today seeing it being handed down to their generations. Island sister just want money. Makes a job. Take your eye off of one wealth, her hard earned wealth. You know what days she have to sit down on her bum to get that money? They all need to go find a job and live like the common man, says Island sister. Yeah, but think royalty in 2022, it's, I think royalty, monarchy has done its time, I think. But I honestly believe that. Like, you know, I hope she will give me a few pieces of her fine jewelry and a few of her fascinators, says Lady Taylor. May I listen out for the will? Maybe the reparation is in the will, you never know. Maybe she could have do something like that, you know. That would be a master stroke point departure shot, you know, parting shot. Can you imagine, like, you know, the will she writes, I'm leaving X amount of money for the Commonwealth nations reparation. Blow out the Queen with a national hero. She needs to do that as her parting shot. Queen, everybody would have loved you even more, except like the British people. Jamaica education should be free, and if it's not free, it should be affordable and easily accessible for all. Yeah, I'm for easy access. I don't know if I'm for free, but it should be accessible easily and cheaply. Yeah, yeah, make it free. Bro, my great grandfather and mother was put to work for free labor, so why my education can't be free? True religion, true. But when it's free, sometimes they don't put the quality there. You know, like for example, my school in France, where I teach, at $27,000 to come there. Okay, but it's quality compared to like the normal French schools were free. They don't have the facilities and stuff that we have at my school. You know, my school to just eat at the canteen is like 1,000 to just take your own lunch and eat with them. We're not talking to get canteen food. But I don't know. Mr. Kissen, same in Canada, John said, free healthcare and lots of benefits, but boy, the tax dollar is low. Yeah, man, that is socialism for you. We pay taxes, 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 and people who don't work and stuff, they get it. Like, people who even come here from Jamaica who apply for asylum and them get house also from the French government. I mean, they are work years. Really qualified. I'm not qualified for that. It's not her wealth, it's our wealth, thanks to our ancestors, says Island Sister. And Mystic says, I agree, Island, the wealth is not ours. The wealth is ours, it's not theirs. That's fair enough, because even if you go to like the Louvre Museum and stuff, all the paintings in there, and it's not French. Even like all the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is not French. Da Vinci was Italian, so how come Mona Lisa in a French museum? But that it's true, they have a lot of even some African stuff and some Caribbean stuff in the museum, and it is other people's wealth. I agree with you. But guys, I enjoyed the little discussion. Some people like Leonie and Mourn and Sharon get her black dress. Some people like Island Sister are gonna mash up the funeral. And some people like John Fred just are listening out to the wheel. But big up on yourself, guys. Big up on yourself. I should be going back live tomorrow to talk about like the teacher system. I'm supposed to get some teachers who are gonna come on with me to be talking about the exodus of teachers from Jamaica. So that's going to be a good discussion as well tomorrow. But until then, keep safe, pick up on yourself, and as we say, when anybody know the time the Queen will I read, or just send me a little message, alright? And I have to say, Mystic Sensation has been a member of this channel for 1 year. Would you believe that, Mystic? 1 year now. I saw it today. You've been a member of Jamfet family for 1 year. So special love and big up to Mystic Sensation. Big supporter of Jamfet when she have time and she know the book after work. But big up yourself, legit, big up yourself, Alan sister. Take care until next time, guys.